Hello all, welcome to yet another episode of Take Two by Exploration Pictures. Our guest for the day has donned many hats and has equally excelled in each. An FTII graduate, she was the senior executive producer, Star India. She's also been the creative head for Viacom 18 and Big Synergy Pictures. Currently, she's a partner in Good Karma Calling Productions. With over 130 million views on YouTube, her directorial venture Chutney has made its way to various national and international film festivals. Of course, not to forget the Filmfare Award for the Best Short Film in Fiction category in 2007. Also, her latest short film, Plus Minus, has been screened at the Ojai Short Film Festival, California. Please welcome Jyoti Kapoor Das. Hello. Hi, Jyoti.
Hi. It's such a pleasure being here.
So we'll start off with firstly, so for a large population of the cinegoers, creative producer or director is somewhat an unexplored term. So it'll be great if you can explain what are the roles and responsibilities you have to look into as a creative head or as a creative producer or director.
If I can be like really honest, it's just fancy titles. People just give themselves fancy titles and say creative head, creative ye, creative wo. Finally, all the creativity rests with the actual unit that makes the film. And when I say makes the film, they're on the floor actually executing it out, producing it, directing it. But having said that, let me not also kind of run down the actual job that people in a studio or in a production house do is actually see the feasibility of a project. So it can be great content, and it can be, there can be like good actors associated with it, etc. But the content itself, or the project itself, needs to be something which can be made into a viable project in terms of budgets. It has to get a correct distribution. It has to be distributed at the right time on the right platforms, whether it can be a theatrical film or whether it should only go on to OTT. All these calls need to be taken. And today we have those choices of, maybe not today, we don't have a choice of theatrical, but in the times that we live in after all the platforms have come on. So a creative producer will take those calls of making sure the project is a feasible project. There's a certain backward working to what it's going to cost as opposed to the revenue that it's going to,
Mhm.
that's going to generate. That's one thing. A creative director really owns the entire project overall. So, a director can focus completely on executing it and directing it, whereas the creative director will, make sure the research is all in place, the everything that the director needs in terms of talent is all in place, put together all the elements that are needed. This is different from production. Even creatively, what elements, like do we make do because we don't have certain budgets? Can we cheat certain locations? Can we do certain things? All these calls can be taken by someone with a little more experience, probably, in also production, so that they're really kind of helping a director do what he or she is really their core competency, which is to direct the film and to not worry about all these other problems that come. And that's also, that means there's a fine line between creative production and creative direction.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's more like the creative ownership of, completely owning it and looking at it.
So basically, in layman terms, if I can say that it's like a huge support system for the director or the
Yeah,
producer involved.
yeah, yep, yep, yeah,
Great.
yeah. So
So
you look at the business side as well. You look at, yeah, yeah.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So moving on, I was going through your LinkedIn profile. So it mentions that you are a creative director in the alternate platform section while you were working in Viacom 18 in the period 2011 and 12. I remember that
Yeah,
the OTT
yeah,
platforms were on an upsurge during that time. But of course, the growth period has come only after a few years.
yeah.
So, did you anyhow contribute to the Voot platform of Viacom 18, or how did you? Uh,
Mm,
what role did you have
so
to play in platforms?
so it was very strange because I was brought in actually to launch a feature film or movie channel at Colors TV. So the whole Viacom 18 network was going to have another vertical, which under Colors, which would have been a movie channel. And within like a few months, we all collectively, we were already a team of 5 or 6 people. And we sort of realized that we don't have a bank at all of films, because a lot of the other channels which were already there, our competition would have been potential competition, already had bought a lot of the titles, and we really didn't have much to. So at that point, the board decided to kind of, yeah, I mean, they were like, what do we do? Should we? So we kind of all decided, let's, hold this, because it's no use launching something where you don't have anything to put on. I mean, what will you do? And but Viacom, being Viacom, it's an extremely ethical company. They didn't want to just chuck us all out, and it was weird because we were giving the suggestion, "Ki let's not launch right now, and it's our jobs online." But it's just, we were just we were being ethical, and they just said, "Okay, let's do one thing. Let's place everyone in all the other different verticals." So a few of my colleagues went into Colors TV, and a few went into some of the regional setups, and I was put into. Why, and because obviously my profile was, because I've come from FTI and because I've worked in feature films before, so it was the most natural thing for me to just go into motion pictures. But at that point there was already a person who was heading the motion picture creatives, and I was like, what am I even going to do here now? My boss at that time, Vikram Malhotra, and I think he's extremely far-sighted, and he just, I remember in I think it was September, October 2011, and he literally, he held up his phone and he said, in 1 year, all content is going to come on this. And this is really, really way before anyone had even thought of, making stuff exclusively in India for mobile phones and other devices. And I was like, okay, what do we didn't even know. See, I still have my visiting card. We didn't know what to call it. This OTT term has come in much later. We called it, we said, kya kare, and we kind of brainstormed with alternate platforms, because what do you call it? Okay. And so one of the, the projects that we actually worked on was Sunburn, which is this big concert that is a property of Percept. So Percept and Viacom, and then Phantom Films was executing it. So we did like an anthology, and it was going to be 5 or 6 directors doing little shorts shot around Sunburn. So the core theme was Sunburn. So we were all there, and it was great because it's like a big party in Goa. In December we were just like having a blast, and that's really one of the things that we started with. Then of course, and that I mean, we kind of said, okay, we'll figure out should we release it as a feature? What do we do with it? We weren't really sure. And in the meantime, the person who was heading feature films, she decided to move on with, she had other plans and she was thinking of doing other stuff. So then it just again became a lateral transition for me to come in and head this as well. So, but Voot wasn't even, I think, a twinkle in anyone's eye at that time. Voot came up much later. So I have really nothing to do with Voot. And after a while, of course, we didn't even have anything to do with OTT platforms, because then we all just got into mainstream filmmaking, feature filmmaking. So yeah.
So it was
that's I mean, I always think it was the far-sightedness. He just had to make up a job for me, really. They couldn't throw me out. They were like, Acha, we've got her in to do some work, but what do we do with her? So they were just being really kind, and it all kind of just fell into place serendipitously. But yeah.
Thankfully, it went well.
Yeah. I'm a great believer in being, I just think I'm very blessed. I'm in the right place at the right time. So मेरा कुछ इसमें वो है नहीं. I'm not like, like taking any credit for anything. I'm just in the right place at the right time.
That's a great way to look at it. So you've also directed a few real life stories, like a docudrama on Lal Bahadur Shastri's death. You've also been the creative director for Ghost, Dead or Alive, which was the web series on Out Balaji by Pulkit. You've also been associated with Bhag Milkha Bhag. So my question is how...
Yeah, that was from the studio, so that doesn't count. Yeah. That's Rakesh Prakash. I can take no credit for that. But yeah, the other two, yes.
Yeah, but since you have in some sort or the other been associated with films like these, so my question is that how do you go about developing a fictional screenplay based on these historical accounts? Like, what is your thought process? Where can you manipulate things? What can you fictionalize? So those are the aspects I want to hear.
So I'm very very sensitive, and I advise that to a lot of people. I'm very sensitive about being completely ethical, completely correct about whatever research you do. If you're doing something on a person who's existed ever or who exists, you ought not to play around with their history, and you ought to stay as close to the ideology of that character as much as possible. So it's very tempting to dramatize stuff and to put, but the fact that you've chosen a character to even tell his or her story means that that story is anyway dramatic enough, ought to be dramatic enough. I'm again going into, I don't think these are difficult things to aim for. I think people just, if they're a little less lazy and they're a little more ethical, it's unsensitive, it's very very easy to do. We so even for Lal Bahadur Shastri, we went to Delhi. We met, I met the late Mr. Kuldeep Nayyar, who was there in Tashkent the night. He was in on the team that had gone from India to Tashkent along with Shastri ji. So he was there that night. So he had a lot of first-hand experience to tell. I met his grandson. I met his son, and we met a lot of people who were directly associated with Shastri ji. We did a lot of our own research so that we didn't ask them stupid questions, and then we weaved that into the reconstruction of the story in Tashkent. And again, there we tried to be as close to what was the truth, not putting our own interpretations or our own whatever. It was supposed to, anyway, it was supposed to be a conspiracy theory. So it was, the idea actually began with a whole series of conspiracy theories. So it was going to be called The Big Cover Up. And there was going to be very many different episodes on different things. And this was the first. Finally, when it came to it, the channel decided to just go with a, one episode freestanding. And that's what we did. But it did take a lot of research. It did take a lot of work to do that. Bose took, I think we took about 8 to 9 months to write 9 episodes. And again, I would completely say kudos to Ekta Kapoor and her team, Eklavya Bhattacharya, Nachiket Kandredya, All Balaji. These guys just were rock stars. They just gave us all the time we needed. They were very, very cognizant of the fact that this is something which we can't make errors with, do erroneously. We can't be loose with anything. We need to be really tight in our storytelling. We need to be tight in our research. People cannot pinpoint ki ye gadbad hai, wo gadbad hai. So there are certain things, for example, Patralekha's character is fictional. And there again, I give a lot of credit to Reshu Nath, who was actually the writer. So although we were all part of the team at Synergy, also we had a team of people who researched and stuff, and we worked really hard on it. We read so much, and Reshu, in fact, she says she went from being a Gandhian to someone who became a big fan of Bose. But we had to be very careful in weaving in that fiction. It couldn't be just random. It couldn't be there just for drama's sake. There's enough drama in Bose Babu's life. So we used that, but we also used, of course, a lot of, our own little romance and our little thing, and all the transitions that we used. So, and of course, we were given complete, fabulous production support by Synergy. So that was great. We shot in Poland to shoot, and into Ladakh and Thailand, and it was just brilliant. And of course, Calcutta and then North Bengal. So it was, and Raj is fabulous. He just went through the transformation, and the poor guy took up smoking, and he's not a smoker, but Subhash Chandra Bose was almost a chain smoker almost. So that was something which we had to. And then the casting, I think casting directors, there were about 130 speaking parts, and they got everyone down. It was fabulous. We discovered a lot of really talented actors for that. So yeah, I'm just lucky to have been part of that process. Yeah.
This smoking issue, these are small nuances of the historical character you're portraying on screen.
Correct.
So you have to
Correct.
You have to concentrate on all of these aspects into
yes.
scale. key, right?
Yes.
So, but
Yes.
barring that, I would like to ask you, where do you draw the creative freedoms line? How do you think that, this is feasible, this is not?
Okay. Okay. We need to know that there are people and there is writing that exists, or there's documentary evidence. Let's just blanket call it documentary evidence, whether it's people, whether it's written work, whether it's audio visual, or it's just radio interviews, etc. But there is documentary evidence of certain events in somebody's life. um, Now, say, let's take for example Patralekha's character. This girl whom his mother, is just having like a conversation with some lady, and her daughter and Subhash Chandra Bose are on a terrace. That could have very well happened. There's no denying that. Like you can't say कि ये तो हुआ ही नहीं था. So and these are not something which is which is something which is outrageous or which kind of offends anyone. It's not
Aligning the
offensive.
character, that
You
will.
can use that. Yeah. So you use something. So that's a device that you use, a fictional dramatic device of him influencing a girl who studied abroad and come, and she has nothing to do with the freedom struggle. But he's so passionate, and he's so. How do you show that passion at a young age of this boy who's just, he's just this charismatic, passionate man in love with his country and ready to, just go for it. How do you do that in your first episode, second episode? How do you grab people by the throat? It's as innocuous as a romantic situation which just spins, and literally, I think, he lands this girl up in prison because she's gone and handed the king, a piece of khadi cloth. And again, that is fictional. But the point is that it doesn't. So what we tied it up with was something that actually happened. That Bose did bring a lot of khadi to where there was going to be this big royal banquet and all this. And we've seeded in this girl again who's, so it's like, he is the guy who's inspiring or leading people astray, if you want to call it that, कि यार ये तो बिगाड़ रहा है हमारे बच्चों को. पर वो बिगाड़ने के बाद all these kids have now become, so technically according to the British, they were terrorists, they were आतंकवादी. But then you realize that they're freedom fighters. So, it's like, it's a very dramatic, charming way of, of course, we're also adding the eye candy of a pretty girl and making it, a little softer. But that point comes across that, he's the kind of guy who can do this. So that's why, you don't, like you said right now very correctly, you're not maligning a character, you're not offending that thing. Also, it's not कि वो तो कभी ऐसे किसी को मिला ही नहीं. He told his parents मैं तो ब्रह्मचारी रहूंगा, and his parents never let him connect with girls at all. तो ये भी नहीं हुआ. So it's likely that he could have met a girl somewhere. It's likely that socially something. You assume
addition to the character sketch is what you do.
Correct. And the history that we have, and the facts and the hardcore facts. Yes.
Great. So you've also been associated with Viacom, like we said, and we all know that it's a large-sized film production studio. So after that, you've come to being a partner in Good Karma Calling Productions. So what were the challenges which you have faced in this shift from being associated with a renowned film studio per se, to working in a company?
Okay, so corporate life is an aberration in my life. I've been a film school graduate. I've worked on the floor as an AD and as a producer and as a director, and done a lot of work for NGOs. So I've shot a lot of films for NGOs. NGOs are usually clueless about how to market their. So they'll make a PSA. They'll pay someone money to make a PSA, and they don't know what to do with it. So I've literally, cold called channels and said, you guys have a CSR program, you have airtime for PSAs, put it on. And, been like shameless and gone and marketed ऐसे ही free में कि अब बनाया तो क्या ही करेंगे बेचारे, तो दिखा दो. So for me, a film corporate job is really the aberration, which happened again, like I keep saying, serendipitously. It is, a lot of people, I remember, they ask me, how do you get a job in a channel or a film studio? And I'm like, I don't know, because I just, there were people who knew me, and they, knew what I could do, or whom I know, or the kind of network that I had. And they just basically, did like, called me on and said, ki chalo abhi, can you, and for film people also, let me tell you, people who've done films, and I've already made a short film before that, I'd worked and all. It's a bit of a come down, that you've joined a studio. Like, really, can't you make your own films? मतलब आपने कुर्सी पकड़ ली. It's not a very, of course, when you see the salary and all is very good. Like, suddenly, you're being paid a sure shot packet every month, which freelancers never get. So it's a very happy situation to be in. तो एक दो गाली खा ही लेंगे हम लोग कि ठीक है यार, आप गाली दे दो. But if anybody gets that opportunity, they're not leaving it. So it was a great learning experience, but it was not that it's a transition. It was a transition coming into a corporate job. Leaving it was not at all. Leaving it was going back home. It was like, okay, now I can, just, whatever, just go back and tell my own stories and do my own thing and
Right, because it
whatever.
was coming back.
Yeah, but with the additional, please, I mean, let me not discount. Absolutely, there was fabulous learning, because now I've been in the very privileged position of knowing what makes a film feasible, why a film will get rejected. So if I can mentor youngsters, or I can mentor other people who've got a kick-ass script, but and I used to do that even on my job. I would tell them, they'll come and they'll say, so I'll just give you an example, and this probably happens with a lot of people even now, is so they'll write this great story, okay, and they'll say, we'll make it in 2 crores, we'll make it in 1.5 crores, we'll get this one and we'll get that one, and we'll pull favors. And I'm sitting there and I'm telling them, you'll make it in 1.5, 2 crores. I have to put in 3 crores of PR to even bring people into the theater. They are not going to come to see XYZ's face, the people whom you're bringing on. I'd rather that I make a film in 5 or 6, bring in a little better known face. And today it's much easier because OTT and people have become familiar with seeing fabulous actors whom they didn't even know earlier. Right. And we can bring them into a feature film setup in a certain budget, and they will draw in a certain audience. If you do and social media is literally free marketing. I mean, come on. You just have to keep hammering people with stories and posts and tweets, and just tell everyone ki yaar isko please thoda sa amplify kar do, and they'll do it. You don't even have to spend on marketing that much as one used to a couple of years or 3 ago, and it's doable. But it still makes more sense to make it in a little higher budget. So I would that's what I would do in the studio. I don't know whether they were very happy with it or not, but it also makes business sense, because I'm still going to put in the same amount of money in my marketing and PR. I'm still going to put up those hoardings. And for someone to get attracted to buy that ticket, and it's called bums on seats. To have those bums on seats, I need that pull. So, instead of throwing 1.5 crores down the gutter, not being able to do anything with it, I might as well. And it's great content. Why would I waste it? I would say take a little bit more money and try and bring on a little better known actor. Yes, I know this whole thing for what will younger people or newer people do. They will do what probably a Nawazuddin Siddiqui did. Do a lot of character roles and keep being available to, be buffering around and be seen. I know there's an actor I know who's done tons of television. He was very popular on TV. Then he did a couple of very, very good films, in the niche bracket. He was there as one of the main faces. He has a fan following in his own right. But he did a bit role in an Akshay Kumar film, which we produced. Mm-hmm. And suddenly he's saying, the Panwala round my building, who I've been living there for, 10 years or whatever. Suddenly he's telling me, Bhaiya, aap to wo picture mein ho na. And he's like, Abhe, I've been coming to you like every day to buy my cigarettes or whatever, and you haven't recognized me so far. And suddenly I come in an Akshay Kumar film, and that's when he, the bulb kind of clicks on, okay, that is the kind of reach that a commercial film will have. So I think when you don't have an ego and you're like, I'm ready to do, for actors basically, I'm ready to do even a smallish role in a big film, it's still, I mean, I thought, what Shaini Gupta did in both Fan and in Jolly LLB 2 was fabulous. She was noticed in that, and she's done enough independent work,
Absolutely.
but people got to know her. Yeah, I mean, these are like, they're impactful character. Of course, I mean, having said that, again, the corollary and the disclaimer is that they need to be a little impactful, even if they're smaller roles, but they need to have some impact. नहीं तो आप ऐसी स्टेशन पे आ रहे हो जा रहे हो नहीं हो सकता ना. But yeah, so that's really what. So now when I do films, or when I plan anything, whether as a producer, whether as a mentor, or whether my own work, I have that that thing in my head which is saying, okay, is this? So I think I've just become savvier. I've been very privileged to be to be a part of a studio or be a part of the business end of it. It's given me that check in my head. We're not in la la land ki अरे बढ़िया स्क्रिप्ट लिखी है तो मतलब फाड़ डालेंगे, बट हाँ, हाउ डू यू डू दैट? सो प्रैक्टिकली यस.
So basically, if in short, if I have to tell that before Viacom, you had learned the technicalities, the technical side of filmmaking via FTII, etc. And after the corporate life of films, you saw the business aspect of films as well.
The business has absolutely.
So it was a mix of both, and then you emerged as
I'm right place, right time, bro. I tell you, it's like just blessed. Yeah.
So coming to your like most talked about film, Chutney. So even though I know the Chutney has been loved and talked about, but not many are aware that you have directed another short film back in 2002, which is called Lucky Day. So, and I was going through the cast. Still haven't seen the film, but I am very eager to watch that. I will watch it.
Please do.
Time today or tomorrow. I'll get back to you.
Sure.
But the cast was very impressive. Like Viju Khote, Raghuveer Yadav, Usha Nadkarni, like they're exemplary actors.
Yeah.
So
They're fabulous. Yeah.
So they are coming from a very different generation, and you are directing Tiska Chopra, Divya Dutt, Adil Hussain right now. So so how was it handling the different actors and professionals coming from various different generations? So because they will have a different kind of a thought process. So
how do I think actors. So one thing that's in common with actors across. I mean, Tiska, for Chutney, Tiska and I sat for 2 months every single day. So I wrote the screenplay, we did the dialogue. We had a dialogue coach, Avnish Mishra, who's also credited as one of the writers. And Tiska is credited as one of the writers because she really put in a lot into her character. And so we sat for literally 2 months every single day, working on her lines, because it's her monologue really which holds the whole film, which we keep going into flashbacks or figments of imagination, however it wants to be interpreted, but we keep going back into the dramatization of what she's recounting or narrating to Rasika's character. So the whole film is a monologue. Anyway, it was also based on a monologue. It's a short story by Bhisham Sahni ji, and we'd gotten the rights of it from his daughter, who was very generous, and she just said, you've changed it so much, just take it. It's not even the same piece of work anyway. But we still, we wanted to give him credit at the beginning of the film, so we have Remembering Bhisham Sahni in the beginning of the film Chutney, and whoever recognizes it, like I knew, there's going to be somebody who's going to, ye to inhone chura liya, and I'm like, no, see. We've given him credit, and we have an email from his daughter, and it's all very, very bona fide, which I learned from my corporate life. Completely. I've like, I've really learned that. So, so what is common between Raghubhai, Vijuji, Ushaji, Adil, Rasika, all these people is that they are completely directors, actors. I've been extremely lucky. There are a lot of other actors also I've worked with, where maybe I've taken auditions of people or different work that I've done with them. It's just so fulfilling and satisfying to, because I have a very strong vision. Whenever I've written anything or I've thought of something, I literally can see the whole film in my head. So it's like I can see it running. Okay, so I know and what also because I've trained as an editor at FTI, I know how where it's going to cut. I know how it's going to overlap. I know what music is going to come where. I literally see the edited film in my head before I've even started shooting. And of course there are times where when an actor or any other technician, anybody, an assistant on set can give me, or before we start shooting can give me a suggestion, and it could be mind blowing, and I would love that, and I do love it if and when that happens. Um, but usually all these discussions have taken place before, and there are certain things which for me are non-negotiable, which I'm very convinced about. So I'm like, okay, that's a great suggestion, but I'm going to not take it right now because I know how it's going to play out in the long run. So there have been times where I've been adamant and probably arrogant about what I'm thinking. But these actors are people who, the minute they've been given a narration or the screenplay by the, like Adil, I literally met on the set of Chutney. I've never worked with an actor ever before or after like that where I've met an actor on the set, and he's one of the main characters, and he's a brilliant actor. He just gave himself up. He had no questions about, no doubts, no, I mean, we had discussions and whatever, and he was very convinced about the way I saw this character. He was very convinced about the little nuances that I was putting there, and there were things. So I also work in a certain way where I surprise. So there are certain things that I keep up my sleeve, and then just before I'm going to take that shot, I'll throw it at the actor, and that actor then reacts very spontaneously. He or she has not had the time to mull over it, which is what I want for certain things. So I've done that with Adil as well, and he is just. I mean, I would work with him in every film of mine if I could. And Raghubai again is somebody who I just had access to because he lived in the same complex I did, and I just kind of said, Raghubai, ye karna hai, to please, and he's come to the institute to act in diploma film. So there's that connect. Again, the FTI has really been a superb source of networking because a lot of my peers, a lot of my colleagues, a lot of actors know me because of that place. Vijuji I'd worked with in Badshah when I was assisting Abbas Mustan. So Vijuji never encashed the check I gave him. He just said when we work in a feature film, and unfortunately now that's never going to happen, but he just did not cash that check. He said, we used to talk in Marathi to each other. Like, "Tu mere ko picture mein legi na, tab main wo check cash karunga." So I'm like, okay. And he's the one who put me onto Usha ji, whom I didn't know, and I just, I called her up on his recommendation, and she just came in and she shot with me for a day. And later on, all this Pavitra Rishta and all happened after that, I think, or not. I'm not sure, but anyway, it was like, and I didn't watch TV, so I really didn't know. I knew her from her other work in Marathi, theater and movies and TV. But it was, I mean, they just, so it's, I don't think it's anything to do with generation. I think it's just to do with the professionalism of an actor. The same way as it's a professionalism of any technician, and I include myself as a technician, that when you've finished with all your discussions before the shoot, you're on set, then you're not wasting time in having these long drawn conversations, because time is money on a set. You are shooting whatever is planned for in the day, and you're finishing it, and you're moving on with whatever, and the actor is ready to keep giving I mean, I've never, again, that's another crazy thing. I've never had to do retakes with any I mean, there's no actor I've had to do more than maybe 2 retakes with for performance. I'm just blessed. So I really think it's, I think it's also, I think the casting of it, like we had Sumit Gulati who in Chutney, who's that Munna, who's the harami servant, and the one who spits in the, no, Bhola is the one who dies. Munna is the harami. So he's the, that Chalu guy who's like spitting in the thing. And
the scene which established the character where he just sits and uses randomly in the midst of a conversation up there.
He just says, So these are all things which I had written down. It's like, these are like the spitting and, him just turning around and says, Chuti. It's like that thing is something which is, it's there in that, it's in the screenplay from draft one, because that's how I think most writer directors would be like schizos. I am sure I'm like multipolar because when I'm writing, I'm like five different people. So it's quite a bizarre but great. No, it's like you can do whatever you want to. You're the god of that universe. Yeah. So yeah, I think Raghubhai, I mean, I'm very very privileged, and that was an exercise, I mean, my baby was a year and a half years old. My husband had shot the first, so he's a cinematographer. He had shot the first digital film in India called Urf Professor with Pankaj Advani. That's an underground cult film. So if people haven't seen it, please Google, find out. It's shocking. It's a very shocking dark film. And definitely adult rated, but y'all must see it. It's fabulous. And so people kept calling him, and saying, Ki, what camera, what, and I'm sitting there thinking, Arey, main to abhi mummy ban gayi hu, ye kya hai? When am I ever going to do anything? And then I was like, okay, I'll just, I'll use him. And I took money from my dad, and I just called all my friends, someone's an audiographer, someone's a production designer, Raghubai again, all these people are like, people I know. And I shot in my, granny's house and my dad's house and all this, and sab ghar ke location leke, and we had like one baby light, and we had my one baby, and that's it. And we just shot it. I wrote that script in a day or whatever, sent it to Raghubai. It was an exercise. It was just to tell myself, ki, okay, I still have something. And then of course again, all favors, you cut it, you send it, and it becomes, but it's something which I'm quite proud of, because it's something which a lot of people, I mean, when it's screened, and it got screened at Encore festivals as well, which is, a festival happens and then they do another festival immediately after that, taking some of the same films from there. So they call it an Encore. And that is great, because when you see it being appreciated in completely diverse cultures, that really is the power of cinema, I think. And that's very flattering and validating and gratifying. And you're like, Arey, chal, mere ko kuch to aata hai. It's like that. But yeah, it's fun, yeah. I'm just lucky. I'm blessed.
Coming to another unconventional, since we were talking about casting, so there's one unconventional casting which I noticed, which was for your latest short film, Plus Minus. You casted Bhuvan Ram for the lead role. So usually people want to experiment with a YouTube personality for a lead role in a short film. So what was your thought process in casting him as the hero or person?
All credit to Guneet Monga, the producer. So she had met Bhuvan, she'd gotten introduced to him through someone, and she turned to me, and one day we were trying to figure out, I was like, somebody really, it has to, that soul of Harbhajan has to come out, in that person's eyes and his dialogue delivery, and it has to be, so she said, Bhuvan, so I was, and I don't know anything about YouTube, but I to dekha bhi nahi tha Bhuvan ka kuch bhi. And I was like, who, what, and whatever she said, he's a, so I said, to milwa do. And I'd not even seen his work, okay? I didn't know who he was. And my son heard that I'm going to be meeting Bhuvan, and he landed up and all over there, and he got photos. And I'm like, acha, ye itna, like a big deal it is. Huh? And I've become like, my mother is like, okay, she's something. She's not just some mummy. Anyway, but so we met at Guneet's house, and she was very sweet, and she connected us and all. And I meet this boy, this young, shy, sweet boy. And he said, bataiye kya? So I'm looking at him, and I've written it, so I narrated the whole thing, and with the dialogue and everything. And I'm watching him as I'm narrating to him. Guneet's heard it like 100 times before. And I'm narrating to him, and while I'm narrating, I can see the expressions on his face and in his eye, and he's like melting. He's just like,
so he was just emoting while you were narrating this.
He was feeling it. He was connecting with the story. He was feeling it. He didn't know anything about Harbhajan, okay, either. And it was literally unfolding for him. So by the end of it, he had like tears in his eyes, and he was like, I really want to do this. And I was like, you know, that's great for us. And after that, so we shook hands on that. But after that, then I went and saw this BBK vines, and I was like, "Ye kya? What?" And I messaged him. I messaged him, and I was like, "तो तुम ये करते हो?" He was like, "आप मत देखो, आप अभी ये zone में." No, but he's adorable. And even on the sets, I mean, we prepped, of course, before that, and he was completely, oh my God, I'm going to be working with Divya Datta, and she's going to be in front of me. And I said, chill, she's really cool,
How was the
and you know. Like, oh, fabulous! So I'll tell you how it. I always love to tell this story here. So I'm going to take some time. I'm going to tell you this story. Okay. So what happened was, so chutney happened, and so again, you know, when we did chutney now, it was not going to be like this. Like nobody thought it's going to be like viral, and like we love the story and we like the short story, and we just jammed. I wrote a screenplay. We jammed on it. We got the money from Large Short Films. We cast it. We went to Delhi, shot it. None of us got paid. Okay, none of us. We got paid like nothing for it, but we managed to like shoot and show the production value and all that, and came back, edited it, music, sab ho gaya, gaya, and suddenly it's viral, huh? And we are all like, okay, that's nice. And then Filmfare that same year announces short films, and then we win the best short film, and everyone's like, "Ye kya ho raha hai?" type. So we're like, again, like I keep saying, right time, right place. Like, what are the odds? And then so chutney happened, and then people were like, "Oh, are you going to do another?" And I'm like, "No, I've got feature film scripts. I'm working on something, whatever." And Divya is a very dear friend. Divya and I have been wanting to work together for years. And when I say years, I mean like decades. And she's brilliant. We keep coming this close to it, and then it's not happening, or something is happening. And she has a friend, and this friend, another woman. She says, let's make a feature, top lining Divya. So I was like, yeah, but I don't have a story right now, and I'm not sure. So she's like, "नहीं कुछ सोचो ना, कुछ सोचो ना." So anyway, by the end of that process, that person who started that whole conversation disappeared from there. It was Divya and I holding the baby. But I told my ADs and everyone that just think of some story. I didn't even know what. So I'm sitting at my desk in my little swivel chair, and they come into my cabin, and this boy. Again, he's brilliant. He was my DA in Chutney, and he's been in very very brilliant resource person for Bose and everything. And he comes in and he says, "Ma'am, आपको हरभजन सिंह की story पता है?" So I said, "Oh, cricketer." So he's like, "आप Google कीजिए हरभजन सिंह army." So I'm chatting with them, and I swivel and I start. I literally, okay, this is happening, and I'm on my laptop and I go Harbhajan and Google, and then the whole Harbhajan Singh story comes up. I kid you not, I did not turn back. Okay, I'm reading. Wikipedia. By the way, Wikipedia had like erroneous facts. Okay, there are errors on the thing, and I put those errors in the film. I'm so ashamed, but it's anyway. So anyway, and then and there are these. I'm like a picture khatam ho gayi, raat gayi, baat gayi. And so I've got these multiple tabs open and whatever, and I sit there and I open up my screenplay document, and I start typing a screenplay. And it's literally like, again, I can take no credit for it, because it's like the universe just, cracked my cranium open, and just through the nerve endings of my fingers, I'm just typing. And the whole story, the way you're seeing it now on YouTube, no changes. That script from there, the first draft to what you're seeing, that's it. That is it. Okay, the only thing we changed was
But I've always heard that directors, the first draft is very different from what we see on screen. Always
not this one.
Something. Oh,
not this one.
So you're
not this one. I so again.
To see on screen.
It was not my. Everything that everything, right down to the chai, and it was like everything, the pauses, everything. So every single thing. I knew where I wanted what and everything. But again, I cannot take any credit because it was not me. It was the universe which wanted the story told. I'm just the medium. I can take really no credit for it. I can take credit to direct it because that's what I did. I cannot take credit for the screenplay at all because I don't know. So also, okay, I had lost my mother-in-law a few months before that. A few months before, I was very close to her, very very close to her. So there, the mother-in-law daughter-in-law story,
Right. Yeah.
a lot of people were very, used to be very surprised that I'm so close to my mother-in-law. Like they used to be like, you know, but it was, we were that close that people used to wonder कि ये लोग नाटक तो नहीं कर रहे हैं पीछे ने मम्मी like bloody बीते ही जा रहा है गाली दे रही है सामने हाँ मतलब सामने everybody is like हम साथ साथ है full Rajeshri film going on and like big and but we were really very close and she went very suddenly and it was a huge. I was still grieving. I'm still grieving actually after all these years, but I was still in grief. And when I wrote that, and I think my grief, and so even in plus minus, there is a remembering bow. So in Odia, we call mother bow. So remembering bow is for my mother-in-law. So this film is really dedicated to her because I think I think that's part of it. And of course, Harbhajan, so Baba Harbhajan Singh ka alag ek wo, and it just kind of came and got merged. Again, it's a very unlikely genre to happen.
Right.
Patriotism and family, mother-in-law, daughter-in-law, not even mother-daughter, mother-in-law, daughter-in-law kind of a thing. Again, like we had Neelu ji who just came in, Neelu Kohli who plays the mother-in-law. She has no dialogue, and she's someone whom Guneet just brought on because she knew her. And she came into it like, she said, "Mere liye to picnic hai." We shot in wherever we shot, like Daisa or Danu we shot. And she just came and, she was just sitting on that charpai doing time pass and she has no dialogue. And I was like so blessed because she's someone again whose face you recognize, and
Right.
she's there in the film. And I thought we had Raj Singh Chaudhary again. He's a friend, and you guys saw him in Gulal and all that. So and Antardwand, and I thought, wow, let me just. So I see a lot of comments on YouTube, and people are so happy to see him on screen again.
Yeah.
And it's again, I just think it was a very happy experience. We just made it with a lot of love. We made it with a lot of joy. Uh, Everyone was coming in with a lot of positivity, and matlab ban gayi picture. And again, we won, a Filmfare for that. So I'm just like, मेरे घर में मेरे दो film fairs. I'm like fully Gopi Kishan.
I was also watching one video which Filmfare posted about you were sitting in on a couch and describing your first experience of getting a black lady.
Yeah, they made me do that for the second year. Yeah.
It was fun. I knew that I was going to have a good time chatting with you. But coming back to the question, since we are running out of time.
Yeah.
So
sure.
Now in the discussion, I heard that you were saying that I already have a lot of scripts for feature films. So what is your plan for feature films in future? Aside situation.
No. So I'm like the bhaji wala. Okay, I'm like, what do you want? You want like karela? You want beans? You want gobi? You want aloo? You want pyaz? You want bhindi? Papaya, saru, everything. Matlab tarboos, everything. I have everything. So it's like you want drama, emotion. I'm like those Manmohan Desai pictures. वो तो एक picture में सब डालते थे ना मेरे पास सब अलग-अलग ऐसा. So it's like I think so no. So all these are past laurels. Okay, you're nothing until you've done something this Friday. Then once Friday is over, ab khatam, ab agle pe chado. So one of the things that I'm very, very, very excited about is there's a spin-off. So Plus Minus, the short film, we just put in a fictional fiance for Harbhajan Singh called Nimmi. And he just talks about her. So what I've done is I've got a film where Nimmi is a protagonist, and it's again we're talking about Harbhajan Singh, and at that time I've done whatever research of mine just came out of the internet. Now we've done way more research. We've got books, we've got interviews with his family, etc. And there's so much that that we know that we did wrong in the
So
film,
not sticking
but in
only
the
to
short
social
film.
media.
No, matlab, we're like now we're really like being as correct as we can possibly be. So there was no Nimmi in his life. So we've the way we've designed the scenes also is that he meets Nimmi in such situations which no one can deny. They can't say कि ये हुआ ही नहीं था कभी. He had gone on a leave back home, और वहाँ पे he's met this girl, and no one can say this had not happened. So you have to take out those little black holes from people's lives, like from the time that you see them till the time you see them next, what they're doing in their life, you don't know. So in that time when he's away from his family or away from people who would know where he is, accountability, in those little black holes you can place whatever fiction you want to place. And so so again, it's an intensely patriotic film, and it's into time. It's set in two times,
Okay.
and it's got a girl as the protagonist, and we have a screenplay ready, and hopefully, I mean, there are producers on board, and hopefully a studio as well, and so yeah, I mean, we're in the process of locking the actor and stuff. So it's like that's one thing, and then there's all the other halka pulka romance and dramas, and that's all there. So again, now the pandemic just happened, and I was
Yeah.
ready to go out with something. So it's like everything kind of stopped. So now I am just keeping. So I've been writing all throughout this lockdown period, and just being as prolific as possible, finishing a lot of the work. I'm also very lazy, and I keep prevaricating, and there's so much of social media that you can waste so much time on. So we're just and there's solitaire, which I'm so wasted on it, but I keep telling myself, I'm building strategy, and it's great because card games. So anyway, all these are bahane bahut achhe hain. But I've also tried to finish a lot of unfinished work. I've tried to start and finish a lot of things I'm happy that I have, and I've been collaborating with co-writers as well. So I'm just keeping this bank of screenplays ready, and I'm hoping once I start shooting, I don't have to take a break to write. It's like ek ke baad ek, I'll just keep making films and churning them out and hoping everybody likes it. But I don't care. I'm just going to keep making films. I don't care.
That's the spirit.
I can't predict na yaar what people will like. Yeah, I couldn't predict that they would like something that I've made. So how do I know whether they like or dislike what I'm making next?
Yeah, you just keep at it. That's it.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, thank you, Jyoti. It was amazing.
Thanks so much. Yeah. Thanks.
I had some great insights about your entire journey. I hope our audiences also get a good view of how your life has been till now. So yeah, thank you, Jyoti.
Thank you so much, and God bless. Yeah, thanks. Bye-bye. To know what a filmmaker thinks and feels when they're making a film, before they're making a film, after they made a film, this is such a cool thing that Exposition Pictures is doing. I think you guys should like, share, subscribe, and learn more about filmmaking, the real filmmaking. And any questions that you need to ask, keep commenting, interact with them. I'm sure there's a lot to learn.